Have you been drinking tonight?
No, breathalyze this.
Breathalyze
Get
this.
it. Get it.
How do
And
I
I'm
know
not
that?
on
Your eyes are
probation.
glossy.
Yeah, I smoke a lot of weed.
What's going on, y'all? It's Brandon, aka the Port City Attorney. Today, we're going to be reacting to the most painful traffic stop ever. Let's get into it.
On January 1st, 2023, a Portage County Sheriff's deputy was on patrol when he ran the plates of a vehicle in Stevens Point, Wisconsin. It came back showing the registered owner had a suspended license, so the deputy decided to conduct a traffic stop. Upon approach, the female driver, 33-year-old Nicole Golomsky, immediately began yelling and cursing.
That's always a bold move.
You guys, next trip following and waiting for me to leave my gas pump. Look around.
Well, the
You
reason
really
why
don't
I'm
have
pulling you
anything better
over.
to do on New Year's Eve, New Year's night, New Year's Day, when there's
Honestly, no. Most cops are like, hey, if I'm on the job and I'm not here with my family or celebrate with my family, they probably are just going to pull you over, especially if they have a reason to.
all these get that out my eyes.
It's not in your
I
eyes.
didn't do
If
anything
you look where
illegal.
I'm pointing
I
right
do
here.
know I know your is gonna pull me over. I
Okay.
saw you're sitting at
You know why?
Hardee's.
Yes.
Because
You know
you're
why?
lazy and you don't want to pull over somebody with actually where you have to do paperwork.
Who has a suspended driver's license?
Oh, I got a suspended driver's license, but you can pull somebody over drinking and driving, right?
Okay, can I have your ID?
No, I don't have it with me. My name is Nicole Glumsky. You know who I am.
Okay.
Because you just said I have a suspended license. Do what you gotta do with
Well,
your
I have to verify
dog.
that's who you are. I'm not
Don't
dogging
find anything. I don't give a and your buddy back there can bring his dog. You guys do this to me anytime.
I've never met you
suck.
before,
Oh,
so
that's
I don't know what
I'll
you're
say.
talking about.
Why did you
I mean, look at the dude sitting next to her. He is uncomfy, to say the least. So I deal with a lot of criminal clients who get pulled over. And what I always tell people is, just start the interaction, just how you might be upset that you're getting pulled over. And it's reasonable to be upset that you're getting pulled over. But it's only going to make the experience that much worse if you're hostile coming out the gate. So just don't over answer anything and just answer any questions that they have. And it's always a good idea to actually have your license or identification on you.
creep at Quick Trip until I left? Answer that.
Because I saw you had a suspended driver's license.
How did you see that if you're on the other side of the parking lot and then drove around my vehicle, then drove around again?
Okay, you know what? I don't
Goes
need
to
to answer
Hardee's.
you.
You don't have to answer. I don't have to answer.
What's your
you.
name, sir?
He doesn't have to answer you, does he?
Why
Get
is-
it out of his eyes.
You're not wearing a seatbelt.
And neither the am I.
Don't point things out. You could have said that I took it off when we stopped, or just not said anything at all, which is the right thing to do. So, don't over answer things.
Neither am I.
I don't know that.
Oh well. Quit talking to him.
What's your name?
Off. He does not need to tell you his name legally. You're not going to try to make somebody. He's a passenger.
Did I do anything
You are
wrong?
being.
She's got a point. Depending on the jurisdiction, typically you're only required to produce some sort of identification if there is reasonable suspicion and or probable cause that you have committed some sort of a crime. So he's the passenger. The reason for the traffic stop was that she had a suspended license or suspected to have suspended license. He hasn't been accused or even cited for any reason that he might have been committing a crime besides the seatbelt. So they could maybe use that as information. Unless you have a warrant, just give them your ID. It's a little bit easier that way.
This is entrapment. Do you know that? You're going to get in trouble.
It's not entrapment.
Yes, it is.
If you think I'm going to get in trouble,
It's
my sergeant's
trespass.
right here.
What is that called? Harassment.
Have you been drinking tonight?
No, breathalyze this.
Breathalyze
Get it.
this.
Get it.
How do
And
I
I'm
know
not
that?
on
Your eyes are
probation.
glossy.
Yeah, I smoke a lot of weed.
What? Listen, folks, I don't care if marijuana is legal in the jurisdiction in which you reside. You can still be charged with driving under the influence if you have smoked marijuana. The same thing, alcohol is legal in every jurisdiction that I know of, right? You can get a DUI still. You can still get a DUI for smoking marijuana. She said her eyes are glassy or her eyes have some sort of an effect because she smokes a lot of marijuana. That will lead the officer to believe that she is under the influence of marijuana at that time. You can still be charged with a DUI even though they can't do like a test, right? It's called appreciable impairment. What they can do is they can say, based off your mannerisms, based off of your attitude, based off of what you did, said, if you were, any number of things, they can go down a list and say that they believe you were appreciably impaired. And the fact that she just told him that she was potentially under the influence of some sort of substance will give him probable cause to pull her out of the vehicle and potentially arrest her for DUI.
Been smoking tonight?
Nope.
When's the last time you smoked?
None of your business. You smell weed? Nope.
I mean, she's right. It's none of his business, but the fact that she just opened the door by saying I smoke a lot of weed doesn't help.
Are you going to find weed? Nope. Sorry, you wasted your time.
I don't actually. I think I do smell weed.
You do?
Listen, this is the number one reason that police articulate their probable cause for searching a vehicle. They will always say they smell marijuana. Always, because you can't disprove that, right? So she's just not making this easier for herself. She's compounding her issues at this point.
Search it. I told you, get your dog.
I don't need a dog.
Do you got weed on you that you would put in my car?
Why would I have weed on me?
You seem like a dirty, lazy cop.
Oh, that's
so when you dig through my car and you're that don't find nothing, don't be upset and then have to give me a ticket for suspended license and drive away like a piece of cop. Why don't you?
He wasn't wearing a seatbelt and didn't want to ID himself either.
Dude, this guy waited at Quick Trip for me. For no reason. I'm pumping gas and doing my makeup. Ready to actually go to a friend's house and have a couple drinks.
How much have you had to drink already?
Not breathalyze me. I'm not talking to you no more.
All right, I'll be right back.
So if you've got a violation on the passenger and he's refusing to identify himself...
I walked up. He wasn't wearing a seatbelt. He's claiming he took it off, but I don't believe him.
Okay.
Neither one of them had him on.
Like I was saying earlier, right? So depending on the jurisdiction, you don't necessarily have to identify yourself, but he is now articulating the fact that he suspects that he committed some sort of infraction, not having a seatbelt on while he was a passenger in a vehicle, and therefore must identify himself pursuant to whatever statute that they're, alluding to at this point. Meaning, if the cop has reasonable suspicion that you committed some sort of a crime or an infraction, they can identify you. And I'm sure that that's what they're going to say.
She's telling me she's the RO. She gave me her name, but she doesn't have a driver's license on her.
Okay.
So I could write her for that.
Yeah, check and
Plus,
see if you can find the driver's license picture.
Well, yeah, I stopped her for, she's suspended.
Oh, okay.
Let me ask you something, sir. Do you have a valid driver's license?
No.
No? So neither of you are leaving here then until
I
we have a valid driver also.
What? I can walk away. Can I?
You can't leave right now.
They could technically arrest you, depending on what level of crime it is to be driving while your license is suspended. You can be arrested for that.
If I'm not being detained, yes, I can.
No, you are detained.
How?
You're getting a citation.
That's
You're
not
not
being
going
detained.
anywhere.
That's not being detained.
Yeah, you're not leaving.
Okay, well, when your is done giving me a ticket tag,
Alert, suspended driver's license. Female, white.
He's not driving out of here without a license, so...
He says he don't have one either, but he won't identify himself.
Well, perfect. They can sit here until they get someone out here.
Operator
Permit.
failed to have passenger
Yep,
seatbelted.
yep. It's up to you, too, if for failure to carry her driver's license on her purse.
I kind of feel like that's a double-edged sword because
Okay.
of this already being suspended. She doesn't really have a driver's license. Otherwise, I was going to write it.
I was going to say with...
That would be my argument too. You can't charge her for not having a license and not having a license on her. If her license is suspended, it's most likely been physically taken. So you can't charge her for both of those things. I agree with that officer's, perspective.
If he says he had it on, he took it unless you saw that he didn't
Well, I
have
pulled
it
up
on.
behind them. They never took them off. They were, in my books, they were never wearing them. There's video from my squad. You never see them remove seatbelts or anything like that. They were, in my book, they were not wearing them.
Well, in fairness, you didn't watch the video. You don't know what the video is going to produce. That's not going to be a good argument for the state if this thing is taken to some sort of a trial or a hearing on the stop.
Okay, it's up to you. It's your stop, so if you feel that he truly wasn't wearing his seatbelt and you have a violation, then he's required to identify himself for his citation. If he refuses to identify himself...
Well, I didn't write him a citation. I was going to write it to her.
But
instead of...
What I'm saying is he's obstructing an investigation. If he has got a citable offense that you intend on citing him for, it's up to you if you want to push it that far. If he says...
Again, this is why I said it's easier just to produce your identification, because if you give them a reason to look into how they can charge you, there are so many laws on the books that they can charge you with. At any point, anybody has committed some sort of an infraction, because there's just so many stupid laws on the books. We have too many laws. So the easy thing to do is just give them your ID and just try to get the stop over with as soon as possible before they can find a reason to make your life a little bit harder.
Because he doesn't have a license, we can sit on him until
Okay,
we get
so
someone
then-
out here to pick them in the car up.
So then we're just going to have, I don't know, go as far as telling him what, take him to jail to identify him and he can get it booked in for obstructing?
If you wanted to go that route, that's your discretion. If you've got a citable offense, he's refusing to identify himself. He's, by law, is required to identify himself.
Yeah, this would be a simple
$10 ticket or a criminal.
Well, that and just a suspension. I wouldn't have even cared or wrote him. Like,
Sure.
This is unnecessary.
Yep.
Okay, so are you willing to tell me who you are, what your name is, sir?
No, he doesn't have to. I'm telling him not to talk to you. Do not.
I'm not talking to you right now.
Well, I don't want him
Stop
talking.
talking.
To you. No.
You
You're
need to stop talking.
disrespecting me
Step out of the
for no
vehicle.
I was going to say she's about to turn this citation into an arrest. They have the authority to arrest her if she's committed a misdemeanor, and they're choosing not to. They're choosing to issue her a citation. Now they're instructing her to get out of the vehicle. This is going to go very poorly.
reason.
Step out. Come here. I'm going to talk to you back here.
No. Sir, do I have to listen to him?
Yes, you do. Walk to the front of that car, please.
I just want to know, dude, speaking person to person, like, why
I would
why
love
are
to
you
speak.
guys not? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cops here.
Look at how
Why
you're
is it-
reacting.
Because
I'm not
I'm
trying to
upset. This
mistreat
happens to me
you.
all
I'm
the
not
time.
like trying to make you feel
no,
bad.
listen to me, please let me finish.
Sure.
There's so many drunk crackheads, meth heads, alcoholics, people with so much stuff that if you pulled them over, you would actually, I don't know, it would feel like you were doing good because they were drinking and driving, or they had drugs, or they were doing something bad.
Okay.
But why pull
Well, you
somebody?
physically told me you're smoking weed all the time.
Because you're being a thing. My eyes are glassy. You smell weed. Actually, I do smell weed now. You know you don't. You don't smell weed. You don't smell alcohol. I haven't been drinking.
Okay, for
That's
one thing,
lying to me.
it would be lying if I was lying. I'm not lying to you.
Don't raise your voice at me, dude. I have daddy issues, and I don't like men. I don't trust them.
Listen.
I have PTSD. Do not talk to me like that. Do not.
I'm not lying. Everything I say that we're talking about is
You know how
recorded.
scary this is when you see like this happen on the news? Where
None of
people
this
get-
would even have
people
gone
get
this
held
far or
down.
be to where it is right
People
now.
get held down by you
If
guys
you,
and
wouldn't
get
have
choked
if you
out.
could at least have the slightest bit of
And
respect.
I am a rat. I do not. I want to walk the away from you because I don't owe you.
Listen,
But you know what you
walk
would
to
do?
the front of my car.
You know what you would do?
Just walk to the front of that car.
You would physically hurt me. You would hold me
I'm not
down.
going to.
But if I tried
I'm not
to run
even going
away,
to touch you.
you would. You'd shoot my.
Just have a seat right there.
Tell me
Relax.
what.
This is a painful traffic stop. I mean, this was literally just a simple citation. She would have gotten a summons to go to court to answer as to why she was driving without a license. But this has turned into just a big thing. Not great.
Okay, so here's the thing. You're not identifying yourself. I pulled up behind you. I have a camera that's also in my car that I've never observed either one of you removing a seatbelt. Therefore, you weren't wearing one. It's a violation. If you're not going to tell me who you are or give me your identification, that's obstructing. And then we're going to handle it differently.
What are you trying to do?
Just tell me who you are.
What have I done wrong? Because I saw you driving around.
Yeah, I saw you at Quick Trip. I ran her plate. I saw that she was suspended as a registered owner of the vehicle. I can legally do that. I can sit at a gas pump and run every license plate around me. I can legally do that. Aaron, so
Yeah, that's true. It's plain view, right? There's actually been court cases about this, and I'm pretty sure the Supreme Court even weighed in at some point. It's plain view. They can run your plates and see if there's a registered owner to that vehicle, if it's been stolen, if the person has a suspended license. They can look for a number of things. But there is case law stating that they're allowed to do that because it's plain view. They can see the numbers. They can run the plates.
Irving. IRVING. Zaragoza. Call it in right now so I can tell you how it is.
6-2 comp. Could you look up a Irvin Zaragoza in-house?
Just off that bonus. Yeah, what's the harassment?
This wouldn't, if she wouldn't have like started yelling at me and like all this would have never gotten to this point.
It's just that we're all the time. It's just happening. Like we're not doing anything wrong. We're literally at the picture, standing there, and like.
So I drive around, and that's my job is to observe traffic, and I run license plates.
Did I put the wrong gas in the car?
No, I literally look for people with suspended driver's licenses. I look for people that are revoked.
And so now you're out in forest. Why?
This is my normal shift.
There's quite a few guys.
Right now, yeah, you got us at shift change, so there's a lot of us. Cause there's guys coming off and on. Half hour ago, there was like 3 of us. That's it.
Trying to mess with us when you could be actually doing something good.
Okay. How much weed is in the car?
There's no weed here.
I can smell it.
Okay. If you can
Again, like I said, the cops are always going to say that they smell weed if especially if someone says that they were smoking weed. But my guess is they're about to search his car.
smell it, then you get your nose checked.
No. Irving, quit talking to him. We already got your name. You need to stop asking me questions about my
Jared, you want to walk up here?
You might as well just get it done and over with. You want to get in here and check it? Go ahead.
So I looked at past contacts too with the car.
So this is interesting, right? So he's giving permission for them to search the car. They're going to have probable cause to search the car based on the smell anyway. But I don't think that he would have the authority to allow them to search the car because he was not in control of the car. He's not in possession of the car and it's not registered to him. So, his best bet is to stop talking, but never allow them to search the car. I mean, let them search the car if they're going to, but say, I do not consent to a search.
And it even says that there's been marijuana in this car. So you're going to tell me that I don't smell it when it's been in?
I don't have access to police systems very often, but how would he know if there's ever been marijuana in the car? Unless, the car has been used or they suspect it to be used in some sort of a trafficking or drug delivery or something like that. I don't know that the system would actually say that.
In here? I don't care to search the whole vehicle, honestly. I don't want to look in the dang vehicle.
I don't care. Like, what are you trying to get at?
I'm just being honest. I'm talking to you, man to man.
I've already told you, there's nothing here. What do you want?
Nothing. I don't want anything.
If you're trying to get in here, get in here.
Okay, can you step out?
Can you run it? Can you be quick and
Yeah, no, you're not going anywhere. You guys might as well start calling for a ride.
I don't have it.
Okay, I'm going to have you step forward and hang out with that officer.
I want to look inside the car.
Yeah, go ahead. I have to give you permission, not him.
No, I don't need permission. Because the more I talk to him and have my head in the car, I can definitely smell marijuana.
Really? How do you know what marijuana smells like? Get that marijuana then.
Get that
Don't
marijuana.
put any drugs in my car from your guys' I've seen it on YouTube videos.
Do you have your phone with you?
No.
Irvin, do you want to try to call somebody? Because you guys aren't driving out of here.
Guess what? My uncle lives 2 houses up. I'm pushing my car in his driveway.
I'm going to hand you your phone so you can work on a ride.
I don't need a ride. I'm going to push my car.
Okay, well, I'm going to go knock on that door. I'm going to verify that's your uncle, and he says it's okay. You can put your car there.
Right, go ahead. Why don't you check the address?
Why do you have a hatchet in your door?
I can have whatever the I want in my door. I can have a gun in my door.
Okay, thanks. That's all I wanted to hear.
Probably a shotgun, right?
Unless they're going to say that it was concealed and they try to, charge her with some sort of a concealed weapon. But, I mean, she's not wrong. You can have whatever the you want in your car, to a reasonable extent.
Nope. Thought you didn't have an ID.
Yourself.
That sounds like obstructing. You can say, I hear all kinds of things. I just don't want to talk to you because I don't want you to keep yelling at me. I don't work for the city.
Nicole was released and cited for failure to wear a seatbelt, operating while suspended, and failure to have a passenger wear a seatbelt.
That's what I was doing at Quick Trip. But he said he saw that I have a suspended license when I don't have a front plate.
Keep it up. And I'm going to write you for obstructing for not giving me your ID.
Please do. I don't need to hear it. Not from you, and not from nobody.
Here's a citation for operating while suspended. There's a court date and time up here at the top. You do not have to appear. It would be a deposit of $200.50.
Oh, God, boy.
There's also a citation for you not wearing a seatbelt. Same court
Look,
date.
I told you he's gonna write a ticket for everything because he's gonna feel asked for that. He didn't find nothing.
Also, I'm giving you a citation for not having your passenger failing to wear his seatbelt.
Babe, spread him. Thank you.
This is so painful.
Yeah, you better figure out a way to get your car somewhere because you're not driving it.
I'm gonna push it to where you can go. Good
Okay.
boy. You feel good?
Nope, we'll be here.
Fighting crime. I know you will because you don't want to do paperwork. You don't want to do your real job and go fight crime, right? You're a pig that don't know nothing. No.
You'll stand there and try to intimidate. What are you doing?
He ain't scared. He wants to fight a girl.
Okay, so make sure she doesn't drive out
He
of
wants
here.
to fight a girl.
She's gonna just drive out of here the second we leave, so
Then what do you?
it's up to you if you wanna
I've never had cops watch
sit out here
push
and
my vehicle.
if she wants to push it a couple of blocks, we can follow her and watch her push her vehicle for 2 blocks, I guess.
Call that tow truck. When that tow truck comes, you gotta pay for that, right?
We can't allow her to leave though
The
without a
city does. Your
license,
boss
so
is gonna be pissed, and I'm gonna push my car.
I totally agree. She's not leaving.
if it is going a couple of blocks up to her uncle's house, make sure you verify that that person is your uncle and that it's allowed to stay there.
Okay, that was extremely painful. So I guess the learning point here is that obviously the cops are going to have some sort of an implicit bias. Everybody has some sort of bias. Obviously, she had a bias against police, and he, there could be biases there that you could pull out on him as well. From my perspective, I've seen a lot of dash cam videos. I've seen a lot of body worn camera videos. I don't think the officer is being super unreasonable in stopping the car. And I don't think that he was being unreasonable throughout the duration of the stop. Again, you can make these stops as easy or as hard as you want. You just need to be respectful, and they'll be respectful to you most of the time. Now, if they're not, you can deal with that later. But what I always tell people is fight it in the courtroom. Don't fight it on the street. Hey, thanks for watching, y'all. I'm going to have the link to that full video from Code Blue in the description. Make sure you like and share. Go ahead and follow all my other social medias at PortCityAttorney. We'll see you next time. Thank you.